Hey, what's going on? This is Gary from fitnessfirstnutrition.com. This is the Gary Brown podcast. This is the very, very first episode right here. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. We're going to cover a wide array of topics today. Um, we're going to start off with housing. So I cover everything from fitness to business, news, politics, pretty much everything. So we're going to start off with housing. So housing is a bill being proposed in California, and I'm going to play a video of the guy speaking on the bill. But I'm going to speak on the guy. I'm going to speak on it real quick. But I play a guy. He's going to speak on what the bill actually entails, and I'll give you my point of view on it. So just a quick overview of it is to keep corporations from buying up all the houses, which is kind of a thing right now. But I'm going to play him right now, and then I'll give you some commentary afterwards, if I could. Bear with me again. This is my very first live. Boom. So here we go. From the top. Technical difficulties. All right. So that's not really serfdom. That's not really serfdom. Um, because you're not working to stay on the land and you can leave the land. So it's a bit of hyperbole there, but it is quite dangerous and it really affects the home prices by having people having corporations come in and buy up the houses because they have pretty much infinite money. You have really, really huge corporations coming in, and you might have a BlackRock. BlackRock is one of the most valuable companies. They're a hedge fund, and they manage most of the world, most of the large companies. So they come in and although they don't do it directly, they own companies. They back companies that purchase these homes. So if you come in and you know it can inflate the housing market. So I come in and I have $100,000 for a house. I mean, you're not gonna find a house for $100,000 in today's day and age, but hypothetically, I have $100,000. I come in, I put in an offer, boom. Then you have a BlackRock led company, a Berkshire Hathaway led company. You have Zillow. Zillow may have gotten out of the business because I think they lost a lot of money trying to buy and sell homes, but they come in and they can offer 110, 120, 200,000 because they don't need the money back immediately. So whether I'm buying a house to have a rental property or whether I'm buying a house for me and my family, you just simply can't compete. Or if you can compete, you just end up in a ton more of debt. So it'll artificially inflate the housing market because they can just raise the price. It's like going to a auction and somebody comes in and they just keep raising it up, raising it up, raising it up. So you might have got the car or whatever item it was for $1,000, but these people, they just keep upping the bid. But you need your house, you need a house, you need somewhere to live. So you say, okay, well, I'm gonna just have to make it work. So I'm gonna have to get a $200,000 loan instead of a $100,000 loan. And and the debt of a house is some of the most extreme debt that you'll ever have because it's compounding interest. So by the time you pay for a house, a 30-year mortgage, and this is with a reasonable mortgage rate, you'll probably pay for the house 2.5 to 3 times. Um, so just say the house was $100,000. By the end of it, will have paid $300,000, 250 to $300,000 over the course of the mortgage. So the more that these people are raising the price, the more it becomes not affordable. And then you also have to think of it from the aspect that once they raise the rates of these homes, I have to come in with 20% to put down on a home. If you don't have 20%, then they're going to charge you something called private mortgage insurance. Then private mortgage insurance is built into the mortgage. So now the mortgage will go up by $100, $200, $300. So it really hurts the affordability. And then you have people who are doing this and then they're becoming house poor. So you have your property tax, your private mortgage insurance, you have your homeowners, and then you have the home mortgage, and then you have any repairs. All repairs are on you, and this is really, really killing the housing market. Is killing people's pockets. Is keeping people from being able to save for retirement. This is really, really harmful. And I'm all for capitalism personally, but I am not for corporations coming in and being able to um, price regular people out of the market. That's just not okay with me personally. Now, I do think that they should be able to own homes. I do think that it should be a cap on the amount of homes, and that's actually what the bill proposed, that they can't own more than 1,000 homes, which is more than reason why I probably would lessen it, maybe like 500 homes, and I would make it where as though how BlackRock owns this company. BlackRock is backing this company, and they, let's just say, they can get 500 homes, but then BlackRock backs 5 more companies, or they have other people start 5 more companies. That wouldn't be allowed. If BlackRock is involved, they can be involved up to 500 homes. That's it, or 1,000 homes. But you have to put a cap on it because they'll just gain more and more and more homes, and then as the price of the home goes up, the price of the rent's going to go up. And how can you compete if all of these uh, people are coming in? Not how can people afford these homes as rent is already ridiculous? If all these large corporations are buying up most of the homes, then you have the people who will not sell their homes, so there's no new homes. So now all you can do is rent because now you can't buy because there's not enough new homes, or if the new homes around, the comps of the properties have gone up due to the inflated prices of the homes. You can't afford it. You have to rent is high. um, it's terrible. So I'm going to get into another story, and this one is about, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's happening over in Georgia. So
Dowdna is live in Paulding County. And Michael, this is important because it drives up prices for everyone.
Yeah, when you're talking about tens of thousands of homes involved here, well, it can make an impact, meaning that homes that you see like this one that would originally have been a starter home about a decade or so ago are now for lease. Signs in front yards showing not a home for sale, but for rent.
Atlanta has more of these types of properties than the next couple of metro areas combined.
These properties are single-family homes owned by corporations, not people. And Atlanta is the #1 location for these houses in the entire country, according to GSU professor Taylor Shelton.
Just a decade or so ago, none of these companies even existed.
But a recent study found that just
think about that. Within less than a decade, these corporations have already come in and purchased roughly 19,000 homes just in the Atlanta area alone. And this is going on in various different places, including various different places in California. So if you give them another, and it's only going to, once you start to build something, you know, it's hard to get the first 5,000, but the next 5,000 is easier because you can bankroll. You can use the money that you're getting from the first 5,000 homes, and you can use that to bankroll plus the extra money that you already have, and you can use that to bankroll the next 5,000 homes. And these people have pretty much blank checks, like they have unlimited, darn near unlimited money, not completely unlimited, but darn it, compared to me, compared to you, they have unlimited money. So this is within less than 10 years. So you give them more time to build up, it's going to get crazy.
3 companies known to customers as Progress Residential, Invitation Homes, and Main Street Renewal own more than 19,000 homes in the metro area.
The homes that most of these companies are buying are exactly the kind of starter homes that 15, 20, 30 years ago would have been first-time home buyers.
And in certain areas, these corporations can own most of the homes in a neighborhood. Take this street where every single house you see is owned by Invitation Homes.
That's ridiculous. They bought the block. That's what they talk about. Buying the block. They have bought the block. The block has been purchased, it's owned, and it is being rented out. And I can guarantee that the rent is high.
Built to rent and not to buy, impacting the entire market as a whole.
It makes it impossible to find a deal.
Jordana Haig says the end result has led to higher prices as corporations have bought up much of the supply of homes, pushing up house prices while also allowing them to control the rent.
That's problematic because there should be.
What did I just say? They're going to run up the price and they're going to raise the rent. It's going to be unaffordable. You're going to have to have a community of people living together just to afford rent. The price of the amount that people are being paid is not increasing with the inflated prices of rent and home ownership.
Be more competition to keep prices reasonable.
But for others like DeMar Madison, these rental homes allow folks to try out home ownership without the full commitment.
You need a new roof? You call Invitation, tell them, hey, I need a new roof. So I think it just varies. I think it depends on the person.
Now, while this study focused on just the top 3 corporations that own the most property, if you actually expanded that out to the top 10, well, they own more than 30,000 homes in the metro area. If you expand that beyond just the immediate metro, well, those numbers only continue to climb higher. We're live in Paulding County. Michael Doudna, WSB Tonight.
I think those numbers are just shocking for so many people here tonight, Michael. Thank you.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why are you not?
Yeah, so that's the long and the short of that one. So pretty much something really should be done in Atlanta, in Georgia, wherever this is occurring. There should really be some type of government. I really don't like the government getting involved. I'm not really a fan of that, but sometimes it's needed. Sometimes it's needed because they'll just run amok, and they're already moving the middle class. They've already pretty much diminished the middle class, and they're just going to keep on digging into the middle class until there is no middle class. It'll just be lower class and the rich through inflation, inflated food prices, inflated home prices, rent prices. There will soon be like 50, 60, $70,000 used to be considered middle class. I don't really know if you can't really consider that middle class at this point. Maybe 70,000, but for sure 60,000 under, that is just not considered. I can't consider that middle class. you will be living in the same neighborhoods more than likely as people who are making $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year. So that's why I don't really consider that to be middle class. It's upper, lower class, you know. So you'll have more of that going on, but the actual middle class, it really doesn't. It does almost doesn't exist at this point. And as we continue to grow and let companies do whatever they want and run amok, and poor financial policy and tax policies and things of that nature, it's just going to get worse and worse. And that threshold is going to keep raising and raising. Like 40,000 used to be, you could be middle class, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. It's just going to keep going up and up. And soon you'll have to have $100,000 just to be, per year, just to be considered uh, middle class. So that's pretty much that. And next, I guess we can get into, we're gonna get into this Jane Doe, and which is, they've pretty much outed her as allegedly 50 Cent's child's mother, Daphne Joy. So I really like the podcast with Soul. This guy does an amazing job of covering the trial. So I'm gonna do a quick little review. So this right here says Jane Doe testified that Puffy still pays $10,000, pays her $10,000 rent as agreed in a love contract. So she was subpoenaed to come to court, but coming to court to me, you better plead the fifth. If I'm paying you I'm paying your rent still. I'm locked up. I'm in prison. They are trying to put me in prison forever, or at least 15 years. That's a long time. So they're trying to get rid of me. And you're going to get on the stand, you better plead all of the fifths. You trying to help put me in jail, and I'm paying your rent is crazy. But let's get into this. Is Jane a victim, or was she a willing participant? I'm assume this is going to cover. I think I might have watched a little bit of this, but I didn't really get the whole thing. So we're going to watch it together. Podcast with Soul. Go subscribe. So he does a great job, and he's really, really, really detailed. Apparently, he's really, really hungry too.
This is how she meets Puff, right? Puffy is dating this other honey. And Puffy tell the honey he messing with, like, yo, come on down to Miami, y'all come down, bring your friends, come and hang out. So they come down, and Puffy takes them on his yacht for dinner. He invites them to Two-Star Island. They go on his yacht for dinner. The way Jane Doe explained it, she went to the bathroom. Puffy was there by the bathroom. They exchanged phone numbers, and they started texting and communicating with each other, even though
She's starting off right now. She's a sniper. She's trying to snipe her friends, man. This is not uncommon, probably especially in these type of circles here. He's a really rich man, and definitely most women would look at him like he could change their life because financially, obviously, he can change their life.
Her friend who brought her to Puffy's house was still dating Puff. This is who she is. She's stabbing her friend, cutting her friend's throat, flirting with her man, and her friend brought her there. So, Puffy stays in touch with her. Jane Doe's girlfriend was seeing another dude too, besides Puff. All this is in my notes, man. I got notes, man. I got the dopest notes ever, man. I take the best notes. I take notes better than anybody. Puffy's the honey Puffy was dealing with another dude too, and Puff at the same time. So her and that other dude get engaged, and she moves with the other dude overseas. So now that Jane Doe sees her girlfriend and dip with the other dude, she tells herself it's okay for her to start messing with Puff. So Puff invited her to Miami. She went to Miami in January 2021. Puffy got her a hotel room. And at the very first meeting, Jane Doe tells Puffy, I dated someone close to you, and my child's father don't like you. This is what Jane Doe tells.
So this is another thing that's alluding to the fact that this girl is Daphne Joy, and that her child's father is 50 Cent, and P. Diddy. They don't like each other from I don't know how long ago, but they really despise each other.
Her straight from the door, keeping it real. Puffy was like, all right, cool. I don't care. So they chilled, they made love all night, and they walked on the beach. Then they got
starting off a little romantic.
Dressed up, went out for a date night. And Jane Doe testified on the stand that when she left Miami, she was head over heels in love with Puff. I was head over heels already. The next month, that was January 2021. The next month, February 2021, Puff and Jane Doe flew to Turks and Caicos for 9 days. Then they went to the Bahamas for 9 days on his private jet, along with KK, the chef, the butler, a photographer, and a barber. This is what she testifies to on the stand.
So this is what they now refer to as love bombing. Before they would have either called this running game or tricking or a little bit of both, dash of both.
Jane Doe tells Puff she's a content creator, she's a single mom.
All right, now I hate to keep stopping, but let him cook. But what content does she create? I don't know her to create. She take pictures for Instagram. That is not a content creator.
And when they come back from the 15-day trip, Puff say, yo, I know you was chilling with me for 15 days. You ain't been able to create no content. I'm gonna send you some money, just to make up for the money you missed by chilling with me. He sent her $10,000. On that trip, they took ecstasy, and then she says after that trip, she was even deeper in love. After the trip to Turks and Caicos into the Bahamas,
she's in love hanging out for less than a month and having sex, it's not love. You might love what he did for you, how he made you feel. I'm pretty sure a 15-day trip to different various islands and having an extravagant vacation, to a couple of extravagant vacations may feel good, but let's relax on the love.
Where they both took ecstasy.
Moving this summer? Pods is the most awarded container moving company. Pods brings the container to you, then we'll take it to your new.
When she left, she was even deeper in love. And Puffy told her right then, after the trips to Miami and the trips to Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, I really like you, Jane Doe, but I'm seeing multiple women. Told her to her face, right to her grill. Jane Doe testified on the stand. He told me that, but I didn't care. I loved him and I was going to deal with it.
So let's keep it real. She didn't love him. She's going to deal with it because there's an opportunity. He done sent you $10,000 for the 15 days that you didn't work. That who knows if you even made $10,000. And then he took you on the vacation for, I think it was an 8-day and a 7-day, 2 various different islands. And I'm assuming that you like the sex. Walks on the beach. You like the lifestyle that you could have led, and that's perfectly fine. And obviously that's why you don't care about other women. And then you probably think that you can move into that number one spot, but hold on.
I understood what he told me. She ended up moving to Los Angeles. Puffy gave her $6,000 to help her move for the truck. When they first started having sex, Puffy would like to have porn playing, and he would have Jane Doe dress in provocative lingerie, and that they would make love for 24 hours with baby oil, and then he would change out the white lights for red light bulbs.
If it's two things this boy loves, it's red lights and baby oil. It's gonna be baby oil involved in all his activities. So yeah.
Jane Doe testified, I loved the sexual experiences. They felt intense, and I loved Puffy very much. Then they started talking about how they got involved inviting male entertainers over to spice up their sex life.
So he started off with the porn and the ecstasy, opened her up, and then now he's bringing the escorts in.
On her first experience with Puffy, with a male escort, the male escort came. She got dressed up in lingerie. She was dancing for the male escort, and the male escort began touching her. His name was Don, and she started touching him. They started having sex, and Puffy was on the side watching and masturbating while Jane Doe had sex with the male escort by the name of Don.
What if your smile could go from looking like this to this?
Nuvia's 24-hour process is...
She asked for a condom. Puffy told her, yo, these guys are safe, some of the cleanest people. And then Puffy acquiesced and gave Don a condom. She says that after that experience, when I got home, I felt exhilarated. It was fun, taboo, it was sexy, and it was crazy. That night opened the Pandora's box, and a door was open that I couldn't shut. So they go on, she goes on to explain all of these escapades of being with male escorts, and on several occasions, Jane Doe, is the one that brings the idea to Puff. She initiates the hotel nights. She called them hotel nights. We know that Cassie called them freak-offs. And Jane Doe testifies on the stand under oath that she initiated a lot of the hotel nights. Jane Doe began to get...
So far, it sounds like she's pretty much a willing participant. I don't really know what they figure that they stand to gain from this testimony so far.
Jealous when she would see on Puffy's Instagram, in his stories, that he was working out at his house in his gym with another woman. And then she would go on that woman's Instagram and see flowers that Puffy would give her on that girl's birthday. The other honey Puffy was seeing, besides Jane Doe, Puffy decorated his plane, put a bunch of flowers in his plane, and she got mad and told Puff that her flowers you gave her were bigger than the flowers you gave me. And you're taking her to Turks and Caicos. I see the Instagram post, and I want you to take me. You never take me to Turks and Caicos. I want to go to Turks and Caicos. You taking her, but you don't never take me. This is what she's saying to Puff. And Puffy is telling her, yo, I told you I date multiple women, right? I let you know this up front. This ain't nothing new. But Jane Doe, nonetheless, continues to get jealous of Puffy and his other girl. And, they began to argue and fight and fall out and this and that. But she never lets Puffy go.
So far, this is sounding like a jealous girlfriend or sugar baby or whatever the rate. More of a sugar baby than anything else, because Puff is definitely coming across as more of a sugar daddy. He hasn't, thus far, we haven't gotten to any point of violence, although he's not on trial for violence. He's on trial for RICO, sex trafficking, and blah, 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 various other crimes, but not domestic violence. But at least in this instance, he hasn't put his hands on anyone yet.
Puffy disappears for a few days, comes back. According to Jane Doe, her and Puffy would get together, and it would always end up with a male entertainer coming to join the party and all that kind of thing. So Puffy says, look, let's make a contract, a love contract. I'm gonna give you an allowance every month. How much do you want? Jane Doe says she wants $15,000 a month. Puffy says, no, I'm not giving you $15,000. I'll give you $10,000.
Shout out to Puff for the negotiation. I wonder if she'd have said 20 if he'd have said 15. I mean, 10 is that's a lot of money. I guess, yeah. And then you got various other women you probably paying them, you might have $100,000 in women bills every month.
She says, okay. This dummy, Jane Doe, takes the whole $10,000 and rents this humongous house for just her and her child. It's only her and her child. And she rents this humongous house. She asks Puffy for money for furniture. Puffy sends her another $15,000.
What are we doing? Why would you take if somebody's giving you, if you work somewhere, I'll break this down to regular people terms. If you work somewhere and then you bring home $10,000 a month, after taxes, why the hell would you go get a place that is $10,000 a month? I mean, I'm quite sure she has other money. She has the child support allegedly from 50 Cent, if this is Daphne. But even still, you leave yourself no extra wiggle room. You don't leave nothing for savings, investing. Like, if you're going to hoe, like, do it right. Like, what are we doing?
While Jane Doe is on the stand testifying, she's crying the whole time. She's crying the whole time. We got to take breaks. Miss Comey, who's the assistant U.S. attorney who's doing her direct examinations, Jane, do you need a break? The judge is giving her breaks. We taking 10-minute break, 15-minute breaks, so she could stop crying. Come to find out, the assistant U.S. attorney asks her, this love contract took place in 2023. Hold on. Jane Doe also testified under oath on the stand that she reached out to the male entertainers it was her idea to reach out. She contacted them.
Now, why would the prosecution even call her? This does not seem like it's working out in their favor at all. They're the ones who subpoenaed her. I don't know if Puff's defense attorneys would have called her, but this does not seem like somebody I would want on a stand when she's saying that it was her idea to call the escorts.
She would be in touch with them. Jane Doe was jealous of Puffy giving quality time. I begged him for the quality time. I wanted the quality time he was giving to this other girl that you posted on your IG stories.
Again, the jealousy, a lot of jealousy.
The average American has a household debt of $104,215. Are you one of them?
No.
Your home.
Oh.
So in March of 2023, after she's always begging Puffy to take her to Turks and Caicos, Puffy said, all right, man, come on.
You know how she ain't probably been to too many places. Why do you keep asking to go to Turks and Caicos? Like, the world is vast. Like, you already been to Turks and Caicos. She went to Turks and Caicos. She fell in love with Turks and Caicos. She'd never been nowhere. Come on.
So they go to Turks and Caicos. When they come back from Turks and Caicos, Puffy says, I'm going to give you an allowance every month. We're going to call this the love contract. And this starts in March of 2023.
So she was operating for 2 years previous to this contract as a as a work for hire, I guess.
And she testified on the stand that Puffy gave her money for her teeth, to buy her some new veneers.
Okay.
$15,000 for furniture, along with the $10,000 for the monthly allowance, and that she opened up 3 credit cards and went into debt trying to furnish this house.
This is not coming across as the brightest woman. And at the time of all of this, she's 38 now. So at the time she would have been like 36, 35. This is a mid-30s woman, and she's making really, really poor financial decisions. How do you have a sugar daddy? You have another rich baby daddy who you get child support from, and you're still maxing out credit cards and going broke?
The assistant U.S. attorney asked her, did Puffy pay the rent? Yeah. Who's paying the rent now since Puffy's been arrested? She said Puffy still paid the rent.
Egregious. That is egregious. Get off that damn stand.
So while Puffy is fighting for his life, Jane Doe, who claims she's in love with Puff, is performing as a government witness, testifying against Puff to help send him to prison for 30 years, and Puffy's still paying her rent. So this is what she's really crying about, because she is psychologically, spiritually, and mentally tormented that this man is paying her rent. I know what her testimony says. Puffy looked out for her. And here she is on the witness stand, and he's sitting right there.
Struggling to pay off your debt? National Debt Relief is here to...
I would say that Puffy looking out for her is kind of an understatement. He was pretty much taking care of her. She would have been fully taken care of if she made better financial decisions, because obviously, $10,000 a month, and that's just one source of income from one man. Again, she has, I think, $6,700 a month that she gets from 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, whatever, if this is Daphne Joy, which it is. So $16,000 a month, and you're this is why they say financial literacy is what's important, because it doesn't matter how much money you take in, and who knows how many other men that she was dealing with, or I'm pretty sure she did get paid posts online and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure she has some other income. It may not have been to the extent of what she was getting from her child's father and from Puff, Diddy, whatever his name is, but she still has some other income. And she still is just in a terrible position, and she's really holding on. In my humble opinion, she's holding on, holding out hope. Hey, he already still paying the rent. Maybe I can get squeezed that orange lemon, whatever, for whatever juice is left in there, and I can get some more. I'm down bad. I owe American Express. I owe Capital One. I owe Visa, MasterCard. You owe everybody. But to me, from everything that was put there, from the notes that he took with his testimony, it just does not seem like she is a victim to me. From the information that I just received, it seemed like she's a willing participant, pay for play, what do they call it, persona non grata, the quid pro quo, favor for favor. She gets trips and money. Well, yeah, she got trips and money. She just didn't get to go to Turks and Caicos after the first time, and he gets to watch her. He gets to live out his fantasies or fetishes. So I mean, this is a form of prostitution, but I mean, that's kind of what sugar daddy, sugar baby lifestyle really is at the end of the day. But yeah, that's that on that. And just real quick, just something I want to play real quick. It's a pretty disgusting, disturbing video that I did see. Kind of watched it with the sound off for the most part. So not her. So let's get into this. This is a woman admitting to, and I don't know if these videos are real or not. I pray that they're not, but I feel like they are. She's going to admit that she slept with 10 guys in front of her girlfriend. I mean, in front of her boyfriend. Oh, man. No, hold on. I'm tripping. In one night. How many men she slept with in one night? I was thinking that it was the totality. No. Let's run it back just a quick second.
Like it's a flex, like it's a good thing that she did this.
How many guys have you got with in one night before?
Like 10. 10? Like 10.
You got with 10 guys in one night.
His heart is broken. You want to watch active heartbreak? Hold on now. Hold on now.
Night.
What was before we dated? 10. 10. Like 10.
That's the smile. You smiling, but you really dying inside. That's what's happening to that young man right there. And look at, he ain't worth a damn. The guy with the holding the phone microphone, he ain't worth a damn. He looks appalled, and he's ruined his relationship. He was living in beautiful, ignorant bliss, and now he has to find out that his girl is a hoe.
You got with 10 guys in one night.
What was before we dated? It doesn't matter.
It does matter to me.
It does matter. Nobody cares if it was before you were dating, if you were a prostitute, if you were letting Don and Paul like run down on you while Diddy watched. It all matters. Your past does matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm being serious. Like, when did you go 10 guys in one night?
It was before we were dating, so it doesn't matter.
No, like,
It doesn't matter.
no, it matters to me that you got with 10 guys in one night.
How long you guys been dating for?
A year.
It was before we
It
dated.
doesn't matter when it
Why are you
was.
angry? It's
Bro,
fine.
no, it's not.
It's not fine. And she really probably in her mind thinks that it's fine. To her, it's really probably nothing. But it's really something.
Fine. Who is she? I don't even know her anymore. 10 girls in one night? It doesn't matter when it was. You're just for the streets. She's for the streets. She's for the streets.
Time to find another girl she ran through.
So that's the second, it's the second or third video that I've seen like that just within the last day or two. The other one was I was going to play it, but I opted not to. But it was a woman. She was so excited. She was so excited to let people know that she had sex with 5 different men in one night. And is this it? I'm not sure if I have it or not. No, that's not it. Here it goes.
The craziest summer break confession.
Oh my gosh, bro! Hold on!
Say.
But one summer, like, I got really
The excitement. She's so happy.
fucked up. And there was just a group of like 5 guys, and a train happened. But like, it wasn't anything crazy. 5 isn't even that much, bro.
Where's your dad? Where's your mom?
5 isn't even that much. It's not that much. It's not that much.
It's not that much.
If I would have went to 6, that would have been crazy. But I only went to 5. It was like 2 summers ago. It was not. It was nothing, bro. Next summer, I'm gonna up it to 6. Maybe this summer.
Damn, that's crazy. Well, let me be that +1 then.
This generation is cooked. That was no, you can't be. Why would you even want to be the +1? That's disgusting. Anyway, so this was episode number 1 of Gary Brown Podcast. I'm Gary Brown from fitnessfirstnutrition.com. Feel free to head over to fitnessfirstnutrition.com and grab whatever supplements you need, meal plans, workout plans, all digital, all priced. But anyway, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.